What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we're going to talk about Stranger Things, Season 5, Episode 3. Uh, yeah, we are moving through this uh, episode by episode. Obviously, tomorrow I will have Episode 4 for you, and then we'll be done with Part 1, which has everybody already laying down their opinions. I still... Is it just am I getting in my feed, am I just getting a lot of hate, or are people hating this in general? I'm getting a lot of people who are like, I don't know about this. They overshot the finale here. It's too big, too much. They've outgrown. I'm tired of seeing that. Can I get some love thrown in my feed? Because I like this. This is some fun shit. So, do they have a little bit where I'm like, okay, maybe Elle doesn't need to throw fireballs? Sure, absolutely. Or whatever she's doing. So, whence last we left off, I can't even remember what the last thing was that happened, in episode 2. But this episode sees, who do I even want to start with? So Elle ran into the Upside Down, found Hopper, and they spend this episode basically kind of bitching at each other, trying to break through a wall, which Elle can't break through, and keeps talking about how she needs fuel, but the only fuel, which is food, that Hopper has with him is jerky. And unfortunately, they don't quite get to where they need to go first, and Elle ends up, there's another Humvee that rolls into the Upside Down and is like blasting these sound waves at her. And I'm like, where was this Humvee before, by the way, when like all of their men were slaughtered just like a few minutes ago? Does that work on the other things that are in the Upside Down, or just her? Is this like specifically for Elle? So, so she becomes sort of inert, and Hopper has to protect her as this device is causing her to not be able to focus on anything. And meanwhile, a soldier goes over and pees on this on the side of this billboard that they're in the Upside Down. We're still in the Upside Down, by the way. It's so weird. And he's just urinating in the Upside Down. I'm like, we're just too casual now about the Upside Down. Like, people are just like, we're here, we're in this other world now, I'm just gonna pee over here. I don't know, man. Anyway, so he ends up noticing there's a knife that Hopper left behind. They've ended up figuring out where they are, where they're hiding, but Hopper ends up getting enough of an upper hand, and Elle ends up, they end up disrupting the Humvee and the noise, so Elle is able to use her powers, and so they defeat these soldiers, and they take one of them hostage, and they want to know the information. And so Hopper and Elle disagree on how to go about it, but they end up meeting in the middle, kind of, because Hopper's asking the questions and Elle is reading his mind and feeding through like an earpiece the answers to Hopper, so that they know, so that as Hopper's asking a question, like Elle can read what the truth is. It's interesting. And he's like, no, that's not what it is, because she can see inside your head, so she knows the truth. You're lying, it's getting you nowhere, like that kind of thing. So I thought that was fun. That dude seems to hate Elle and thinks that she's like an abomination. And basically they ended up surmising that Elle thinks that Linda Hamilton's character, Dr. K or whatever, has Vecna in her control. And that's that's not the case, because we can see what's happening, because that's what happened with Holly, is that Mr. What's-It ended up being Harry or Henry, which is Vecna. So we catch up with Holly, who now lives in this mansion in the Upside Down, where like all of her dreams are being fulfilled. Because as Henry, he's presenting to her as basically like Wonka, like, here, you dreamed of this. Here's the new Tiffany tape for you. Um, but don't go into the woods. I probably should have finished with Holly, because now I have to finish Holly's story, and Holly's is the best because Holly's leads to something. Um, eh, so Holly is alone, and he Vecna slash whatever is gonna bring more people, but it's like the rest of her classmates. So he goes back for the one kid that she doesn't like. What was his name? Seth or Scotty or something. I don't know. Some kid that doesn't matter, and starts. So that kid is able to see him. It's the bully, and so there starts becoming a plan to do that, and but Will is able to tap into Vecna, so he knows who the next target is as well. So everybody else is working on a plan to save that kid. We'll get back to that. And but while Holly's left in the house, she eventually she hears like a knocking at the door, which I thought at first maybe was gonna be Elle, like they finally got there or something, and no, it's not. So she finds some bravery, gets some things together, decides to go into the woods. The one thing he told her not to do, which, you know, it's kind of weird when you're Vecna, because it makes it seem like, is that like when he's not around, are the Demigorgons like wandering around the woods, and they're not allowed to cross into like his little home property? I don't know. No, she walks through the woods and she comes to this like red rock area, and lo and behold, guess who lives in the upside down? Max. Holly starts to run because she sees a figure and she doesn't know what it is and she's afraid of it. And then we see it's Max. And so Max is alive in the upside down. And obviously that's where we're going to go, because that's where the episode actually ends, is on the revelation that Max, the Sadie Sink, gets to actually do something this season. So then for everybody else, like I said, Will is able to see through Vecna and see who these targets are. So they plan to take this kid in his sleep. Actually, they plan a kidnapping at first, and then they're like, well, wait a minute, what if we use... So then they steal some drugs from Robin's girlfriend at the hospital, some sleeping pills. And this is where we use Erica. I've been talking about her for like 2 episodes. I'm like, I know he has a sister. They did not gaslight her out of this show. So Erica finally comes back into play here, and they use her to go in, and because that the bully kid has an older sister that Erica, I guess, is frenemies with, and so she bakes this pie or whatever and takes it in for the family, and it's like, I just wanted us to be friends again, and I brought you this pie. So, which of course mom and dad start chowing down into, and the annoying little kid starts chowing in, but the other girl's like, I'm watching my weight, my figure, and then they start getting, and she notices Erica's like, well, why aren't you eating? And they get into this fight, and she's like, you want me fat, don't you? So that you can steal Joey for yourself. And she's like, well, no, I use sugar-free stuff in it, so it's fine. So like her whole family passes out, and then this one girl's left behind, and Erica has to stab her with a needle to knock her out. So the whole family gets knocked out, so they can all be transported out of there and then replaced. And they got Murray to bring them some supplies. They're basically trying to set up a trap for Vecna. They think that if the family's knocked out, that Vecna will still go to this kid's house, but it won't be the kid that's there. It'll be them waiting for Vecna, so to surprise them. But we also sort of end on Will realizing that Vecna knows what they're up to. Like, he has like this revelation also, like right before we meet Max again. So I'm not really sure if Mike did anything productive to talk about here, anything huge. He kind of just talks to... no, I don't think... What the fuck did Mike do in this episode? not really sure. Yeah, Lucas didn't really, other than getting his sister, I think that's what they did, is that they got Erica. And so they were part of just like formulating the plan, but they didn't really have much to do. It was revealed that Murray was helping Jonathan put together this like proposal for Nancy, because he thinks that Steve is a threat to him in this Nancy world. So he's going to propose. And so inside of this tape box is this ring, and Murray's like, why haven't you done it yet? So he also gives Nancy this tracking device, which she's going to put in a shotgun and shoot into Vecna when she sees him next. And that's kind of that. We do get, yeah, kind of our core little group don't do much. Dustin doesn't really do much else either. He just kind of helps set up. They don't really have, the original Stranger Things crew are just part of the setup process. I don't think they actually had anything huge. I don't think anybody died either in this episode, except for maybe like some soldiers when they were fighting L, but it didn't really show anybody perishing, so to speak. So yeah, that's basically the episode. I'm excited to have Max back. We'll see what she does in the next episode, how Will's powers continue to grow and how he can use them. And Elle's obviously walking into a trap, so it's so I don't, but we've known that for the last couple episodes that she's being drawn into a trap. So how's she gonna get out of it is the question. Anyway, that's it. That's Stranger Things. I'm still between like a 9.5. To me, there wasn't anything in this episode where I was like, oh my god, why are we doing this? Like, no, I didn't have that moment. So it's still in the same range for the last 3 episodes. If I had like, if somebody's like, gun to your head, bitch about something, it would be like I think we're getting a little too comfortable in the Upside Down. It's just taking a leak in the Upside Down. It's like, I don't know, think of other like nightmare fuel worlds, and then like all of a sudden you're just like taking a leak in there, and you're like, when you gotta go, you gotta go, right? It's like, but he does it in like not a, like, I gotta go, cover me, like 3 seconds, like I really have to go, I can't. Like, there's nothing scary about it. He just kind of like walks over and pees on a wall, like nothing's gonna happen to him or attack him. He's just way too comfortable in the Upside Down. So that would be my only takeaway if I had to bitch about something in this episode. But there you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with episode 4. Till then, on the other side.